Welcome to the McEnulty Method, where financial experts Frank McEnulty and Colin Sorrells share their expertise with all of us. We're joined today by Alejandro Lopez. And Alejandro has a great question. It's about when you're offered a job, it's part of the offer, and it could be a make or break deal. We're going to find out. Alejandro, why don't you share your question with the viewers?
Of course. Thank you so much, Bill. So my question is, I work for an employer who doesn't offer a 401k match. Should I sign up? Should I not? What advice do you guys have?
Well, here's the key with anything with savings is to make sure you put the money away. That's number one. Yes, obviously, we'd all love to have an employer that matches. But, when I first heard your question, for some reason, this saying popped into my head. It's an Irish saying, and it says, may you get to heaven before the devil knows that you're dead. And the reason that popped in my head is because I think it's the same way with savings. If it comes right out of your paycheck before you even have a chance to touch it and goes in that 401k account, that's a good thing because it's just doing it. Now, like I said, would it be better? The other potential thing I'd want to ask is, so yes, you should put the money away as much as they'll let you, as much as you can. The other thing though is, what is the money being invested? What do they allow you to invest in? You want to look at that and see how good are their programs. Because eventually, once you get enough money in there, you might want to open up an IRA and maybe move the money so you can have better investment opportunities. Because that's always a question, is what they let you put it into. And sometimes they're very, very conservative and don't have really good returns.
Well, my question to you then, Frank, is in your experience, are they getting market return at least? Because they usually go in mutual funds or index funds or.
Yeah, they do. And that's just it. They want to be very conservative because they have a fiduciary responsibility about your investments. So they can't let you invest in too aggressive of funds at a lot of times. So you're young, but really the key is get the money in there. What percentage will they let you put into your 401k, Alejandro?
They have not specified yet. 10%.
10% is a good number. I mean, all the experts say if you can put away 10% of your pay every month, you're going to be in great shape.
Okay.
Even if there isn't a match.
Okay.
Well, and the thing I think to look that's really even without the employer match from a 401k is, and Frank, correct me if I'm wrong, it comes out of your gross income. So you're not only getting the investment returns, but you're getting, a tax benefit for what that's worth when you're making 50, 60, 70 grand. But it's still
Absolutely.
A tax benefit, which is also value to you.
Absolutely. It's before tax dollars. So, if you don't have a 401k and you want to put $500 a month into a savings account or an investment account, you probably have to earn $700. Whereas 401k, yeah, it comes right off the top, right out of the gross, which actually lowers your overall tax burden for the year. So that's a great point, Colin. I didn't even bring up.
Thanks, Colin. Okay, so I'll proceed to my second question. I'm interested into starting a Roth IRA. Should I work with an agent, or is there some type of program or something where I can join and do it myself?
Well, you can easily do it yourself. I mean, you can open a Schwab Roth IRA account. I was literally looking at their new account thing a couple minutes ago, and it says this will take you 10 minutes to do. So you can do that. But, if you're not real comfortable with investing yet, Vanguard is a company that's built its reputation on having low cost funds for people to invest in. and they will open a Roth IRA account for you as well. And they'll have very low, and you can they will give you advice. You can look and say, okay, let's face it, your age, you want a long-term growth fund. You're not looking for income, you're looking for growth. And so you can literally type that in, long-term growth, and 3 or 4 funds will pop up. And you can look through all their information and see which one looks best to you.
Okay, sounds good. I'm currently working with, I worked with a real estate agent who works for Farmers Insurance. So I have a mortgage insurance with Farmers, and they're offering me to start up a Roth IRA with them. So that's why I'm asking if I should go with my agent or go on my own.
Well, let's face it, the agent's going to make some money off this, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's 1% of what you put in, it's 1% of what you put in. Okay. And then they're going to put you in basically the same things you can do for yourself. It comes down to discipline. Can you do it yourself? Will you do it every month? Will you put the money away? Then do it yourself. I'm not a huge fan of people just going with investment advisors, especially when you have a small account, because the fees are going to eat you up. If you get $1 million, and somebody's going to take your account for 0.75% a year, and they can be more helpful. And in defense of investment advisors, there's lots of studies that show that on average, they have a better return for people because they have more discipline. They're not going after the stock of the month. They're not, oh no, this went down, I need to sell. Oh no, this is going up, I'm going to buy it when it goes up, and they buy at the top. So that's a good part of the investment advisor. It all comes down to what you feel you are comfortable with. But Farmers Insurance being your investment advisor, just doesn't sound right to me. They're gonna cost you a lot of money, and now I'm gonna get beat up by Farmers Insurance people.
Well, thanks for clarifying that. That makes a ton of sense.
All right, Alejandro, thanks for joining us with your questions. Frank, Colin, any final thoughts?
Well, I want to ask, he said something about mortgage insurance. Or should we talk about that later if you've want to talk about that, Alejandro?
We can talk about that later. If you guys have a couple of minutes, I have one last question.
Yeah, let's do them all together.
Sure.
Go for it.
Okay. So I have a lump of money. It's not significant. We can round it up to $20,000, right? I do want to put that money to play. So I want to put it into stocks, maybe invest it in some way. What advice do you guys have for that? I do want to benefit off of that. I did have it I did have it with a bank, and I made no significant gain from it. So
right.
Frank, this is your favorite.
Alejandro, first, it is a significant amount of money to you. That's what counts. Okay. Yes, to Jeff Bezos, he won't bend over, pick that up off the sidewalk. But to you, it's a significant amount. To me, it's a significant amount. I'm not a registered investment advisor. So this is my personal opinion.
Okay.
I'm a big fan with younger investors of getting involved in funds like there's funds that invest in the dividend aristocrats, which are stocks that have raised their dividends 25 years in a row. Good times, bad times, they raise their dividends. They don't pay the best dividends because in many ways they're very conservative. They want to grow that dividend. year after year after year. But I remember looking at something once, and I forget if it was Procter and Gamble stock or something like that. And it was like a 40-year period. And it's like if what they had paid for the stock 40 years ago, they were basically now making in dividends every year. So what you have on your side is time. And so the key is making nice, reasonable investments that are going to continue to grow over time. And that's why I like the dividend aristocrats, because that's what they do. They just grow over time. And it's funny how many of these stocks, most people have never heard of them, but companies like Diebold, Con Edison, you've heard of it if you were in New York, but they're just companies that every year they just go.
Okay.
Well, Frank, what if he gets it up to, he rounded it to 20. He gets to 25. I'm going to push you to your favorite topic. You like investing in real estate as well.
I do. I love investing in real estate because you get the leverage of real estate that works for you. So to me, it's like do both. Hopefully get real estate and invest in the stock market, because let's face it, stock market's a lot more liquid. If you need that money for some emergency, it's there. You try real hard not to touch it, but it's there. But I would recommend, Alejandro, at least putting as much of that money as you can a year into a Roth IRA. Because when you're still in a lower income tax bracket, the advantage of a regular IRA where you get to deduct the contribution is minimal. And according to the rules, you'll never have to pay tax on the income that comes out of that Roth IRA, which is a great thing.
Sounds good. Very good information. Thank you.
All right. Again, anybody got any final thoughts? Any comments you want to make?
I think we're good for today.
I'm good.
All right. Alejandro, thanks a lot for joining us. And we hope to see you again.